Hi, my name is Danny fucking Barda, and I'm retarded. Or not. In the process of life, watching myself going from me to a wannabe, to a could have been, to a has been, on the fast pace to never been, I found myself in a duel with God for my existence. Why the fuck was I put here on earth if I'm so goddamn useless? In a internal battle that I'm going to describe later, when the soul has your devil, yeah, when the devil has your soul and you challenge God to a showdown, that's how you start a fucking podcast. Because ultimately, the insanity of facing God for the claim of my existence is a byproduct of the fucking life that I led, whereas there's very little that I could say I've achieved, save my three boys. But if I could do anything, the role that I could play out as Tom Cruise as Maverick in the War Room, where he's the example of what not to do. Every effort of my life resulted in 0 to -0, loss of energy and place and pace, and I can't put the shit together, and yet I keep seeing and understanding things, pieces of which you kind of gravitate towards and study and try to put your existence together, and it still doesn't add up. And recently I lost everything again for the third time. I'm 48, halfway through life. This shit starts turning up, fucking a pretend comb over starts appearing, and you haven't even done shit yet. But when you start losing and you start letting go of things that you understand that you could lose, but you start losing things that you don't even know you can lose, things that come at a price that you didn't even know existed that you had to pay, well, then you either push through the fear or let the fear kill you, because there is no alternative. And, from the days of Mork and Mindy till the end of life, I understand the pressure and path of that kind of existence. It's a hard thing to kind of battle through all life, but it's nonsensical. But yet you have an imagination that you somehow fit and you have a purpose, but so far, not that things don't work out, but you fucking end up losing more than you bargained for just for even fucking trying. And a lifetime of dealing with shit that I didn't even know I was dealing with until I saw other people deal with shit, and you're like, fuck, that makes sense now. It leaves you lost and confused in what can you do now? So, through the course of the past 30 years, I've been trapped in my existence, watching it go, participating and enjoying, and I had a lot of fucking fun. And a lot of not fucking fun. But you had pieces that you were witness to that are pretty incredible, but fucking you were denied from actually being able to sort of access those pieces. And when I talk like this, I usually mean let's say, spiritual things, let's say like manifesting shit, or the relationship you would have with God, uh, but also on a like human connectability level, because I was always big on watching humans interact. And in that same process, I have like the self-awareness that I thought was kind of average, or everybody kind of has that, but everywhere I turn, including, psychological and other doctor visits, everybody kind of points out that how high my self-awareness. So that's cool. But I've always had it. Always looked at my existence and experienced it as going, even though I couldn't fucking control it. I'm like, what the fuck? So I lost everything. We'll go through it. I mean, fucking everything is beyond everything. And, you need to move forward. What do you do? How do you do? So I heard a little quippet from Jordan Peterson. And he said, well, just imagine what is the most possible best that you could do. All right, let's fantasize. Let's put this into place. So I'm like, all right, well, here's some qualities and elements that I've known that are kind of strong in me, and but never really tested, pretty much like everything. And, personality traits and things that would be much better suited somewhere else than what I've been doing for the past few years, decades, gathering monies, handyman construction shit. But there was, obviously a roll up to that too. Either way, you go through a process and you fantasize and you built this dream like, fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. And obviously some other books that you've, read in the past, and self-help types to understand yourself a little bit, and you draw this imagination and it fucking fits. It's huge. It has to be huge, right? Because there's this sort of attachment to these dreams, or Bible verse. I don't know exactly how it goes, but without faith, nothing is possible. You can't please God without faith. So in other words, whatever dream you have to build for yourself, it's got to be bigger than you could achieve, because you have to have an element of faith in it. So you do that. You put all the ingredients in and like, yep, I like it, it fits, and ooh, is this mine? And then you get this fucking feeling like nothing else before, like, yeah, that is yours. 30 years in the waiting, and I fucking got it. And then comes the, well, yeah, but like everything else, good dream, but fucking nothing works out for you, and you know it. And everybody has a hard time processing you, and kind of pushes, separates, distances a little bit. And you're like, fuck. Ultimately, the past few years of rejection and the process that I've gone through has left me at a point where literally feels like the fucking existence, the universe doesn't want you. Like the existence, like, you're fucking naked alone, and yeah, people around, and you could interact and cordial and even put a smile, and we've done this great job of sort of hiding our pain and be, yeah, I understand, we're good listeners. So most of the time people don't see this inner struggle that goes on, and it's fucking massive beyond belief. But the process of me getting to this point, fuck, nightmare. Because after I got that perfect fit dream calling thing, the one thing that revives your life and makes you want to live and hope, and all that comes back rushing in, you're fucking denied from it, right? Like, nah, not really. Like, yeah, other people, maybe a different version of you, but for some fucking reason, not you. And then you have to battle it out. Well, fuck, I thought you were real. I thought you kind of were in my corner. Mind you, I haven't prayed to God in a very long time relative to some other times I've been close. So this is how the fucking test works. If I get this type of impression dream that's such a nice fit, but I'm not sort of in God's grace around, does it apply? Is it real? Is it the manifestation property energy of the universe telling me, yeah, that's you, let's go for it? And you go and when you attach yourself to God, it flows? Or is it the fucking dogma of God that's been built in my head by society and the fucking repetitive OCD reprogramming manner that my mind's always had, and then it fucking ingrains this false, wrong image with the help of some predominant people, pastors, and highest influential people in your life, like fathers and shit like that, dad. And you are battling. You get to that point where fuck you, God, fuck Christianity, fuck humanity, fuck everything, because you can't understand why you authentically are not welcome. Is that real? Probably not. So, there's the other element of it, is when you do find something, there's that barrier, there's that cocoon you have to come through. That process of breaking through that, because of the place you're gonna walk into, you have to shed that shit. And literally breaking out of it is the only way shedding it. So, what does that process look like? What is the fucking plan? Starting January, I'm going to start a podcast series committed to 5 years. I'll just fucking expose myself to you, period. I have this authentic idea that America's not fucking doesn't know what authentic is. Because of how I've experienced my life, I kind of petri dishified myself. I have this unique gift. I don't know. It's weird. It's just how I've experienced it. But I'm a problem solver by nature. So in the course of my life, the fucking biggest thing, obviously, solving my problem in the middle of my own chaos, which is not small. I have a mediocre, average, middle grade life, like fucking most people, with some unique experiences that I think most people, in how I experience life, don't have that string of opportunity. That's a pretty fair basis. And I added cocktails to it, mixtures of different things just to see how it reacts. Fucking the plethora of drugs from A through Z, continents, and probably, not like some do it nowadays and have done it, or to the extent that, a lot of people get involved in life. But I've seen enough and tasted enough from so many different perspectives that to be able to extrapolate and to kind of scale it up or scale it down, it's, that's just a different angle. But to be able to have like a more complete perspective of things is a different question, or a different thing. So my experience is that I don't think people know how to be truly authentic. And in that process, I figured that I have this plan to test the market for all this bullshit, manifestation and spiritual sort of energy, and the spiritual life that I'm gonna have to clear price later, because the element my upbringing was Christianity, and this culture of spirituality has so many sort of parallel, interlaced elements that it's fucking insanely ridiculous that I see, but yet there's such odds at it. And my gut feeling is that there's been so much misinterpretation and mishandling of what the Bible teaches, that it leaves people like me, highly sensitive to shit, fucked, because it gives us such a dilemma or catch-22 problem to solve that's impossible. And I don't think I'm alone. But I think there is a solution. And this is my test for that. I kind of, if you could do a scientific study, you know, in a case like this, I don't know. But at least we could document something. See if it plays out. So, not having a real connection or prayer life or talking to God for quite a while. A lot of bitterness behind that. But having this thing come and still attaching myself to it, not feeling worthy, not that, still, like, not real prayer. It's an antagonistic approach. It's a fucking constant arguing. Like, why can't I? Why, you know? And it's maddening. But the process leaves you naked and afraid to the point, like, oh, fuck. Like, the thoughts I had were real. The anger I felt towards God was no joke. But am I allowed to have that? Am I done after that? Well, fuck, if I am, I am. I've been done before. So, but if I'm not, can I at least give it a shot to see if my shit works out? 5 years, fuck, I spent 8 in college uselessly, failing upward if anything. Graduated, walked 3 classes shy with like 215 units, no degree. But that was fun. So 5 years. 5 years to play out the story that I built, that I got approval for. I turned in my numbers. I'm gonna put it in a vault, seal it, and I'll need it in 5 years and see what it looks like from here to there. The reason why I'm doing this podcast is because I have a feeling that there's so many people out there that don't have access to resources or a complete understanding, or fucking just lost, like constantly, what the fuck, and don't know how to process it. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm fucking not even a graduate. The last thing I fucking achieved was graduating high school, and the last race I won was fucking being the first to the egg. But from there to now, I have a shitload of perspective that if I put together all at once, might manifest something. If not, fuck it, do better. I'd love to see that. I really would. I want that. That's the whole point. If we can't, or I can't connect or relate, then I ain't doing this shit. Because ultimately, the battle was that if I have to be completely and 100% honest and authentic to show that when I go through this process, and the plan is to, you know, use a lot of the current, go through a lot of the current products being marketed, not just the products, the approaches and different attitudes and how it's done versus what's actually found in the Bible, and actually commit to it like an athlete to a regiment, to fucking do it as it's ought to be done, and just simply expose what's going on and how it's done. To be able to do that, you have to very clearly identify the starting point, right? You very clearly have to describe, like, well, what does that mean? Yeah, it's exactly what it means. Being completely psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually naked. And physically. Slow down. But you get to the point where, fuck, that's what authentic is. And a lot of these thoughts, you know, I really have developed them over decades. So I'm just going to put them together. But I'm going to put my idea, or I'm going to put together my idea of sort of what a utopian direction is. It's probably part of what people think and a lot of what don't, but put together my way, fuck it, it's just another highway. But it's a way to test against other highways, right? The original plan is fucking cool. Then this thing came in, and in this day and age of the heightened awareness of mental health and even illness, I'm going to go slowly forward with it. But I am going to be authentic. I'm going to be real. I'm going to expose emotions and thought processes and my observations of those thought processes and my lessons I learned through them, and raising 3 boys and the experiences I had, fucking fiance, baby mama, wife, all mom and dad. Because I think in that process, there's a way to learn from at least what I've gone through, because I don't know, because of the perspective. So in order to do that, you risk everything. But when you're already, or at least in part, feel like you're a part of an existence that doesn't want you, you got not much to risk. Guess what? Don't give a fuck what you're gonna think. Not quite true, because I'm gonna a term I learned not too long ago that I had to investigate more. Intuitive empath. That just means that feelings get attached to me more readily than others, and you can't fucking shake it sometimes, especially if you don't know how to handle it. So I feel things more heavy, but it is what it is. So I experience humanity, or I feel it, but it just, you're not one with it. And I think people could really relate to that. My mind is like a fucking field mine of nuclear proportions. I don't intend to give in many trigger warnings. My fucking mind is a trigger, and part of it is finding triggers to sort of, dissolve them. But I'm going to address a lot of issues in a very open, serious way that I want to have a conversation with people about. I don't know how it's going to play out. I do have a business game plan, and we'll see how it shows up when I play that out. But it's gonna be fun. If it's gonna be fun. If not, fuck. I'm dead. But I'm still here. So, here's the initial game plan. Today's Christmas Eve, 2021. In January 1st, I'm going to start my little process. Between now and then, I'm going to drop 2 more videos. One explaining, or at least introducing me, myself, in a more complete way, just a general sense, and then the second one, my outline. God knows my numbers. I'm not here to I'm here because that thing in my bio is tearing me apart if I don't do this, and I don't know why. And I have fucking no idea what's gonna come of it. I'm fucking scared as hell. I have $120 left in my pocket. I haven't seen my 2 youngest kids in 3 days in the past 3 years. So it's a maddening place to be in, and here I am. So driven crazy, inundated too, about the shit that I have to launch it. In those 3 videos, you're gonna get a sense of who I am, but more importantly, I'm gonna offend people. That's the nature of my presentation. It's not on purpose, and it's not with the lack of love, but it's always gonna be that me presenting an opportunity for you to be offended. It's your choice how you're gonna take your offense. But sometimes when you see an offense, it's some pointer to something that maybe resonates that you need to check out. That's cool. That's on you. You could come and go, I'm here. I'm looking for one person that has the similar fucked up, shitty, good, bad, useless life with no results and stuck in limbo life. Because my theory, if I find this guy, then I have proof, God exists. That if you do it his way, no matter what, the circumstances look outside, you'll be able to fucking look at it and decipher it. It's not an easy thing to do sometimes for some of us. For some people, naturally fall into it. Fuck them. Good luck and great. It is. They teach us the things to move forward with. And there's people behind that need even more help. But I'm going to open up a dialogue, and I'm going to structure it, and it's going to be selfish, because I think once you understand what I'm aiming to do, it'll be just, But tomorrow at noon, I'm going to go on Clubhouse. Find me. Spawn Point Alpha. I'm going to hold a room. I'm going to call it Choose Life. And it's a white elephant gift exchange. There's this verse in the Bible that says that some people were given like 1 talent, another one like 5 talents, I think, another one like 10, and everybody to his measure was supposed to do something with those gifts. The white elephant is the gift that you got from God that you don't fucking know what to do with, and it's kind of like useless something. So the conversation is, am I the only one that feels that has something like that, or does somebody else? And the other conversation is that if you're not into fucking Christmas because of the bullshit behind it, no disrespect to Jesus's birth date when he was actually born, but are lonely and isolated and going through loss beyond what you thought you could handle, if you have some resonation with ADHD, PTSD, what is it called? I don't know how to put the list together. I'm looking for the people to interact with who are not offended anymore at the shit that comes at them, because they are fucking so tired of seeing it so often and so much. They're more interested in making sense of it than fucking being offended by it. I'm glad that you are here listening and you're offended and maybe learning. But I bet, and maybe this is directed towards someone that you know. Someone that just seems like they just can't get their shit together, but they have so much more, and nobody could seem to connect with them. Nobody could seem to understand how to deal or approach. That's the kind of person I'm looking for. That's the kind of person that I believe could help me fucking get some answers from the shit that I'm looking for. Because unfortunately, maybe you'll learn to understand that people like me, we distrust most everybody because we actually do know better. As weird as that might sound, and arrogant as that might sound, it's more intuitive based, and when education is behind it, fuck. Obviously well-educated psychologists that really do understand and see behind these things, you can't fool. But generally speaking, the people that have no money, have no access, and have nothing but the state, or not the best people to talk with, we smile next to you. We're the ones that you look at and they fucking have great lives, or the introvert that knows how to pretend to be an extrovert, the framework of a person that's so fucking immaculate, they're like, wow, that's cool, but you don't understand or see how 90% of that person's energy is going towards holding the framework together, not actually processing or going forward with life. That's the kind of person I'm looking for. People that have some thing that they know that they're not doing, have sat on, or have a feeling that they can and could or should or would, but don't know how to, so where to start. They tried maybe too many times. That's the kind of person I want to connect with. We'll start tomorrow morning, noon, Clubhouse. Find the app, find Spawn Point Alpha, bring your wife, bring your wife. I think there's gonna be more guy show. Bring your white elephant. Peace.